Hey everyone, Alan Bauer here tonight on Thursday night. And what I want to talk about today is it still continues with recruiting. And Karen and I are always doing personal recruiting, but it's also about helping your downline do recruiting also. So we got this guy in our team, David Myers, and he's out there busting his butt, doing recruiting and doing all kinds of stuff. I mean, he's very proactive. So I get a call from him the other day and answer, and it's like, "Hey, you got a minute?" I'm like, "Sure." And he's got the guy that he's recruiting on the phone, and so he hands me the phone, gave me a little background on him and stuff. The guy was a veteran like I am, and so I start talking to him, and he's like, "You got to hear my story." So this guy says, he's got a very interesting story. He's been featured in the paper, things like this about him and his brother. Um, so anyway, talked to him, and I watch his story. After I'm finished talking with him, I watch his story, and I'm just telling Karen, it's like, we got to meet this guy. This is like the coolest story ever, and I don't want to ruin the whole thing, but just a short version of it. So this guy that we're talking to that may be joining our team, we got already got it set up Sunday. I'm going to meet with this guy, and if nothing else, it's just like a really cool person. I got to meet this guy and you know exchange a story and stuff. So anyway, he was adopted, and he had siblings and stuff. It's like his mom was an alcoholic, things like that, and she had the kids, couldn't take care of them, and so he got adopted out. His brother and sisters and stuff got adopted out. So anyway, the short version of the story is, that he never knew who his brothers and sisters were. So like his brother's living way out on the west coast of the U.S. and he's down like way down like in Florida or something. And don't quote me on this. I don't know if I got the story totally correct here, but I saw the map. So they're like as far as possible as can be in the United States away from each other. And they come back to Detroit, Michigan to take this class together. So both brothers are in the same class and they don't know they're brothers, but they're both taking this class at the exact same time. They both flew back to Detroit, Michigan, and they hit it off. And they're like, joking around with each other. They're like really good friends. And people in the class are joking, like, "Hey, what are you two guys, brothers or something?" And, so the one of them says, "Well, I was adopted and my last name was Fletcher." And the other guy's like, "Oh my God, my last name was Fletcher too." Come to find out, they really are brothers. How does that happen? How do you know, two brothers apart for years? I mean, this is like 40 years or so that they're separated. And at the same time, they both just decide to fly back to Detroit, Michigan at the same time, take the same class. I mean, you can call it divine intervention, you can call it the universe, whatever you want. Like, it's just incredible, incredible story. So Karen and I are going to meet him and his girlfriend on Sunday. So that'll be pretty interesting. And then, so the guy's talking to me, and we hit it off really good on the phone, and we're sharing some experiences, things like that. And I asked him where he lived, and he's saying, "Well," I said, "Do you live in Bay City here or Saginaw?" Because I saw like a Saginaw number or whatever. And well, actually, that was probably David's phone that had the Saginaw number. Now that I think of it, but he's like, "No, I'm up in Eau Gray." He's like, I just moved up here from Bay City," and he tells me he used to live on, like North Van Buren Street, and I'm like, "You're kidding me!" It's like we live right on South Van Buren Street, So here's these connections coming again together, and I got some really cool stuff to tell him too because I did a bunch of ancestry stuff for Karen's dad, and he was. Adopted, and I was able to track down his birth parents and brothers and sisters, siblings and stuff too. So it's like very cool story that this guy has. I really want to hear it, but I just went through this with Karen's dad where I was able to actually reunite him or actually unite him for the first time with some of his siblings that he never even knew he had. So it's going to be a pretty cool day. And this guy is like really pumped up and wants to help people and things like that. I mean, he's very passionate about it. So I'm really looking forward to meeting him. And I really look forward to getting him on our team. And it'd be a pretty cool story. You know, he's been going around sharing his story and stuff, helping people. Really great guy from just talking to him a little bit on the phone here, and can't wait to meet him in person. So that's all I got. I'll fill you in more on the details later. Thanks.